Welcome back. Today is our final lesson on the complex character of Simon from Lord of the Flies. In this lesson, we will be unraveling how William Golding crafts Simon as a Christ-like figure. We'll examine how his prophetic visions, revelations, and attempts to enlighten and save the boys parallel the narrative of Jesus Christ. This lesson will explore 3 key examples and help us pinpoint Golding's biblical allusions and understand the profound implications of Simon's death on the rest of the boys. Let's begin. Simon's trance and vision in Chapter 8 is the spiritual climax of the novel. When he speaks to the Lord of the Flies, Simon is explicitly told the true nature of the beast. His eyes could not break away, and the Lord of the Flies hung in space before him.
There isn't anyone to help you, only me. And I'm the beast.
Simon's mouth labored, brought forth audible words.
Pig's head on a stick.
Fancy thinking the beast was something you could hunt and kill,
Said the head. For a moment or two, the forest and all the other dimly appreciated places echoed with the parody of laughter.
You knew, didn't you? I'm part of you.
Golding gives the sow's head a terrifying and gruesome presence by personifying it, creating a Lord of the Flies with its own voice. This strange encounter reveals to Simon the true nature of the beast, an internal darkness present in every person, rather than a physical entity that can be hunted and killed. This revelation not only confirms Simon's earlier suspicions, but also foreshadows the tragedy that awaits him. The sinister words, "There isn't anyone to help you, only me. And I'm the beast," hint at Simon's isolation and his ultimate fate. Our second point of discussion is how Simon's murder is reminiscent to that of the crucifixion of Christ. In Chapter 9 in the novel, the narrator describes his murder from the boy's perspective. The beast was on its knees in the center, its arms folded over its face. It was crying out against the abominable noise, something about a body on the hill. The beast struggled forward, broke the ring, and fell over the steep edge of the rock to the sand by the water. At once the crowd surged after it, poured down the rock, leapt onto the beast, screamed, struck, bit, tore. This scene parallels the crucifixion of Christ in a number of ways. Just as Simon is seen as a beast, Christ was seen as a traitor by the people he was sent to save. The boys, in their fear and confusion, brutally murder Simon, unable to recognize him or understand the truth he tries to communicate about the actual source of their fear, the dead parachutist. Similarly, Jesus was crucified because he was misunderstood, and his message of salvation was rejected. Therefore, in a chilling twist of fate, Simon, like Christ, is killed by those he attempts to enlighten and save. In the final stages of the novel, Golding heavily implies that Simon transcends humanity upon his death, with a description that is rich in both beauty and stark contrast to the savage brutality of his murder. This is evidenced through the quote, "Along the shoreward edge of the shallows, the advancing clearness was full of strange, moonbeam-bodied creatures with fiery eyes. Here and there, a larger pebble clung to its own air and was covered with a coat of pearls. The tide swelled in over the rain-pitted sand and smoothed everything with a layer of silver." Golding uses serene, ethereal language to describe Simon's death, with repeated use of words associated with light, purity, and beauty. The moonbeam-bodied creatures, the coat of pearls, and the layer of silver all contribute to this imagery of transcendence. The language leaves room for interpretation as to whether these creatures are metaphorical or perhaps even angelic beings. It is through this depiction that Golding connects Simon with the divine and likens him to Christ. This allows Simon to become more than just a character in a novel, but a symbol of purity, innocence, and salvation amidst the chaos and brutality of the island. His tragic death places Ralph and Piggy as akin to Judas. And that brings us to the end of today's lesson, students. We examined how William Golding crafts Simon as a Christ-like figure in Lord of the Flies. We discussed Simon's prophetic vision of the Lord of the Flies, revealing the true nature of the beast as the darkness within each boy. We explored the parallels between Simon's murder and the crucifixion of Christ, highlighting how both were misunderstood and killed by those they sought to save. Finally, we analysed Golding's ethereal depiction of Simon's death, emphasising his transcendence and symbolic role as a beacon of purity and innocence. Through these examples, we see how Simon's character enriches the novel's exploration of humanity's inherent darkness and the potential for salvation. Remember to keep revising this lesson and see you next time.